Good morning. I had two entertainers, great, in Octag, for example. I have a job. I sell social link, enjoy. I add color to this, and you start to understand why my job is nice. Social link is interesting. It's everyone. And it's interesting because a characteristic that is the more you hear it, the more you have it. Another part of my job, but less gratifying, that I am industrial in traditional with materials like aluminum or steel. I am rich, very, very rich. It's also very interesting. But let's come to factual elements. I am Reybier. After being CEO, I'm now president of a company that is called Fermob. Now that by its CEO son. Fermob creates and sells garden furniture, but also different equipment, like for private clients, but also hotels and in the whole world, with key references, Harvard, Times Square, but also the headquarters of Google or Apple. These references prove, and it's the first part of the truth, of the attractivity not only of myself, of Fermob, but of France, with its talents and knowledge, is able to attract clients from the whole world. Let's be proud of this ability to attract. That is a key factor that the French companies can use as a support. I'm coming back on one thing that is industrial. After traditional academic pathway, I joined a company, and at some point I backed a company. I also always had a project to become an entrepreneur, and I backed a handcraft workshop. This started years ago, and everything went well. I drew a lesson from it on truth, because when I backed this company in an industrial environment with a difficult market, my friends at the time said, but you could be called to other functions. So, first conclusion on truth, each one has his truth in any field, may it be very innovative or very conservative. There is some room for successful or failing stories. And I also said I am in marriage. I'd like to give some figures on my fortune. I'd like to say that I'm rich in pleasure. The pleasure I've never stopped taking in my job. Everything you will have acquired by having pleasure, people won't ever be able to take it from you. So work based on what you want to do. However, people have ever told me, with some anticipation talent, we have been able to classify the jobs that are hard. We might also classify the jobs that give pleasure to add a tax. So we are far from the Minister of Economy, so we will keep this idea for us. I'd like to share something with you. In my story, what are the keys? What are the reasons why it's quite successful? Because we have a group that is now present in around 60 countries. Well, you have to dare to see big with humility. I often tell that when I arrived in the workshop with my 10 friends from the beginning, I gathered them and I told them we are a worldwide company. Some people thought that I was crazy, but it's one of the best things I ever did. There was only one person in the team who was pretending not to speak English. I asked, how do we say table or chair? And it was enough. And it helped everyone. And the absence of complexes is is also a key for that. It's only with the past that you can create future. The logic leads you from a point A to a point B. Imagination takes you everywhere. It's a quote from Albert Einstein. And in a company creating design, it's very important for the strategy. And one last point, an innovation is not necessarily a new idea, but it can be an old conviction. It's a quote from Jacques Picard, the son of Jacques Picard, explorer. And I'd like to talk about the truth as we have been living it for several years. And I'll give you a few ideas. The talent of a leader is to find a talent among others. And what I'd like to tell you is to remind you the duty of enthusiasm we all have in this context. We have never seen a pessimist person winning a war, so we have to share our enthusiasm everywhere. And finally, when you arrive in our company, there is this big word that is written, merci, thank you. And we can always do something big even when you have a huge handicap, as proven by this song.